There's a lot of ways would start this, but I want to ask you about Rui Hachimura and the performance he put in tonight. How big was that for you guys?
It was huge. It's growing up right in front of our eyes. You know, sometimes even I'm the big culprit of this. Sometimes I want these guys to be 27 right now and four seasons of playoff experience. But you get it by going through it. You get your first game in the playoffs by going through it. You get your first situation being down 0-2 by going through it. And today we were 0-3 going into this. So, but he was a big part of us on both ends of the floor. He's a multi defender. He can guard many different types of players. And I thought defensively, we need his rebounds. We can't just rely on our point guard getting rebounds. But he was good on guarding. He was good on making shots. He had a big three, and had a big defensive possession not too far from one another.
And you were asked before the game about sending Ben Simmons to the free throw line, and it worked for you guys tonight. What went into that decision?
Well, we were trying to actually do it the other night, and we struggled doing it. It's on me, but we made sure, and then we actually struggled twice tonight. If not 3 times in the first half as well. I thought we did a good job of boxing out. That's been, that's always an issue with us at the free throw line. But if you're going to miss them, we can't let them get the rebound. And I thought that was some big plays, and then Russell's foul on him. That's how you foul. No freaking layups. That's what it's about. And thought everybody, this is a big game for us. We didn't want to go down and only play 4 games in our first playoff experience for a lot of guys.
Rui, you had been playing pretty well through the postseason so far, but tonight was obviously a different level. What led to that breakout performance for you?
We are down 0-3, and we actually had nothing to lose. Before the game, I talked to Ish. He told me, we got nothing to lose. We gotta just ball out. We just gotta be. He said, just be aggressive tonight. I was just trying to be aggressive in both ends, defensively, offensively, and as a team, I think we played together tonight, and that's why we got to win.
Do you feel like things on the playoff stage are you getting more comfortable? Or are things slowing down already now that I guess you've played 6 games, including the play-in tournament?
Yeah, especially tonight was really fun. Playing in front of these fans. It was crazy, crazy crowd, and it's good. It feels good to be those fans to be back and play in front of them, and it was a big game too. So. Yeah.
Ava.
Really, not to ask too obvious a question, but how does the game change for you when Joel Embiid leaves?
He brings a lot of attention, offensively. So when we guard him, like when on defense, it's actually hard to, guard that team, but tonight he didn't play almost all game, and we actually, defensively I think we were playing good. It was more easier to guard them. So yeah.
Fred.
Hey Rui, that 3 that you hit to make it a 6-point game with under a minute to go is obviously the biggest 3 that you've hit, at least with your time with the Wizards. What's going through your mind when you're rising for that, and after you actually hit it?
It was a great pass by Brad. He obviously he balled 2-3 defenders, and then I was in the corner and wide open, and he trusted me. He trusted me, and then he passed me. So I had to shoot with the confidence. And yeah, that was a big 3 for sure. Especially at these moments, it was a great 2.
Kind of weird game with Embiid going out, but how did you think you and Gaff were able to kind of keep the paint tight tonight and make things a little tougher for them going to the front of the rim?
I thought he was great. Gaff was a huge deterrent at the rim offense. Obviously, he was a huge deterrent at the rim. He made his presence felt on the boards. He was moving his feet. I thought he was so good for us tonight.
And yourself?
Well, things happen sometimes.
Gotcha.
Ava.
Robin, when you're checking in after the two other centers in the rotation get 2 quick fouls, does that alter your mindset in terms of like, I need to calm things down a little bit, or I need to be careful with that, the way they're calling the game? What were you thinking going in there?
Obviously, that's going to be in the back of my mind, but I think something that we talked about. While we know he likes to score from the free throw line, he likes to get some points from there. We have to be aggressive too. So you have to walk that line between being conscientious of not fouling too much, but not letting that take away from your grit.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Focus TV. As always, between the 7 days that go past between when we see you guys, a lot has happened in sports. The playoffs continue to go on. Got multiple games on tonight. As you saw during, the opening of tonight's show, the Wizards have stayed alive. We're going to let Ray get to that in just a little bit. Touch on the Mystics, Pitts League playoffs, DC United 9-4-50, and of course, see what Cardell got cooked up for us in rapid fire. Again, as always, joined by Octavia Wyatt, we got Raymond Lyons, Cardell Dudley Jr., and Wilson Tarver Jr. again. Welcome to the Focus TV. Ray, what's good with your Wizards, man?
They've extended the series. They'll play Game 5 tomorrow. Head back up the road to Philly. Game 4 they took care of business. Fortunately, Joel Embiid was injured, and also Ben Simmons was in foul trouble. So so the Wizards had a shot and they capitalized. They just kind of played the game. Gaffer got his first start with Washington. I got in some early foul trouble, but things settled down after that. Robert Lopez came in and was huge. He's been pretty consistent all season. So he just continued to provide that veteran presence. Bradley Beal and Westbrook, they struggled from the field, but they were aggressive and got to the free throw line. Westbrook did his thing, had 21 rebounds, 14 assists. So he just kind of made his impact felt across the board, which is typical for him. It's the first time we saw Tobias Harris somewhat struggle to shoot the ball this series. So a lot of things went right for the Wizards. But even with the Phillies 2 main guys out for a majority of the game, their youngsters came in and they scrapped. It still wasn't easy goings out there. So that's I'm sure that's some positive news for them. All reports say Embiid should be good to go for Game 5, but who knows? They might hold him out for precautionary reasons. I mean, but knowing the player he is, he's going to want to play if he can. So we'll just see what happens with that. But yeah, man, we saw from the interviews, Rui was a big thing. We've been calling for him to be more aggressive the entire series, and he did that in Game 4, and because he's been really efficient shooting the ball, he just hasn't been shooting a lot. So I mean, he kind of upped his attempts a little bit, kind of attacked Tobias Harris a little bit, because he had been having his way through the first 3 games. So yeah, Rudy's aggressiveness kind of put him on his heels, and he was able to get loose, and that's just good experience for him, because as we know, Rudy's development is critical to this team. He's that third guy behind Brad and Russ. So the more confidence he gets, the more comfortable he gets, especially in situations like these. It's only going to pay positive dividends for them. I mean, just all in all, like we kind of all knew what it was coming into the series, but the main thing, we just wanted them to compete and get this experience. And Game 4 was the first time they really showed a pulse, to be frank. And they came out with a win. Be interesting to see how they respond tomorrow in Game 5. you know, they're obviously playing with house money. So, you know, we just want to see them come out there and, you know, just try to make the best of this situation. So yeah, man, we'll see. You know, unfortunately, they won't have Bertans available, and that's of course that's gonna be huge for them because he was good last night for the time that he played. He had 15 points, all coming from behind the 3-point line, and you know, of course, he's vital for them in spacing the floor and giving people room to operate. So yeah, that's it's going to be hard to replace that production from outside because they really don't have another sharpshooter on the team. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments are made, you know, to kind of counteract that. But yeah, man, we'll see you guys tomorrow after the game for Wizards Outlook. You know, hopefully there's something positive to talk about, you know, but if not, I mean, just get to celebrate the season, man. Wizards back in the playoffs. You know, that's positive enough in itself.
All right, Octavia. No, you don't get a chance on Wizards Outlook. I know we talked about it at length as Ray with the shameless plug because we can. So, Octavia, just your thoughts on Game 4 as we head into Game 5, then we'll get Cardell's keys for Game 5.
I mean, I like the fight. You know, some people could have, you know, a lot of teams could have just laid down and went ahead and got the sweep and just called it a season. But to see them fight as hard as they did was a good sign. Yeah, of course, it helped that Joel wasn't there. Unfortunate to him due to the injury. But you got to play who's in front of you, and that's what they did. They went out there and they fought hard, and you know, like Ray said as well, there's a possibility that Joel may be held out for the next game. So they got to take it a game at a time, and they got to be able to just try to win the next game instead of worrying about winning the entire series. They need to worry about winning the next game if they can. But it's definitely going to be a tall order for them. You know, we all had our thoughts about how the series would go before it started. But again, just to see them compete, you know, see them go out there and play hard every night is really all you can ask at this point, and getting the experience for the younger players, Rui, getting, you know, that playoff type of basketball feel. So I think they had a good game. You know, I would like to see how it goes on for the next game. Missing Bertans is definitely going to hurt, but that just means, you know, the next person has to step up and try to win a game. You know, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, Cardell, going into Game 5, just some keys from you.
More aggressive Rui. Simple as that. I don't think people really understand how efficient he's been. He's been off the charts efficient through the series. Right now, he's shooting 61% from the field, 66% from 3-point range. He got to get his free throw shooting up. He's shooting 42%. So we saw the Wizards. We saw Scott Brooks put in the Hacker Simmons. You know, at the end of the game, they might be able to throw that on Rui at the end of the game if he's got to go on and he's a threat to get him off the floor. You know what I'm saying? Kind of return the favor. He has to get that better. But from the field, he's been lights out, man. That's why I'm saying he need to be more aggressive, man. Stop deferring. And you kind of saw that come out last game. You know, I know Russ talked about it, saying, you know, when he's confident, when he's playing confident, when he's playing aggressive, it changes the dynamic of you know, of the Wizards. Everybody know the backcourt. Everything starts with them. They need somebody to step up. He's averaging 13 and 7 in the series, but right now they need that thing to be at about 20 plus for them to really have a chance to try to fight and stay alive and try to keep winning games. You know, simple as that. In the third quarter, where the Wizards separated and they outscored the Sixers 32-19, in that third quarter surge between the three of them, Brad, Rui, and Russ, they had 25 of the points. They had 25 of the 32 points in that quarter. So in the third quarter, and Rui had 7 of it. You know, like somebody else got to give them consistent offense, especially with Bertans out, because now the floor is going to shrink. The Sixers going to, even with Embiid out, they still got Dwight Howard back there, who's the defensive menace. So what they're going to do is they're going to crowd the paint, and you know, they're going to try to. They're going to try to prevent the Wizards from getting in the lane and scoring. You know, they've been killing them scoring in the paint all series, even though the first 3 games were blowouts. You know, the Sixers handled them kind of, you know, thoroughly. But without Embiid, Dwight said they're gonna try to attack him and get him in foul trouble and get him out the game, which forces Philly to go small. They're gonna shrink the floor because they don't really have to respect the shooters. Bill can score, but he's been off, as far as shooting shooting from three all season, especially in the series. In the series, he shoots 20% from three. Matter of fact, outside of Roy and now that Bertan's not playing, no one is shooting better than 20% from the field. So, from the 3-point range. So, a lot of guys are capable, but they got to step up big time, man, because they're going to have to get the Sixers out the paint. Otherwise, it's just going to be hard to score. They're just going to crowd the paint, focus on Bill, and go from there. Raul Neto, he's proven he can shoot the ball. Bill can shoot better. We all know he can shoot better. 20% is just crazy for him, for his standards. Russ shooting 20%, Ish Smith shooting 20%, Neto shooting 16%, and everybody else haven't hit the three. So somebody's gonna have to hit perimeter shots to make Philly respect them and have to go out and guard them. Otherwise, it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be hard for the Wizards to score.
All right, and like Ray mentioned earlier, with everything so far this season with Wizards Outlook, we'll see you guys after the game. Game 5 tomorrow night. I believe it starts at 7 p.m. Slide over to the women's side of things on professional ranks. The Washington Mystics fell to Connecticut Sun on the road 86-81. There's no moral victories here, though. The Mystics, they're 2-4 on the year now. They don't play again until Saturday, so it's almost a full week between games when they host the Las Vegas Aces. So that's it's one heck of a way to get back into league play. So Cardell, just start with you, just looking ahead to the Aces, things that come to mind for Washington that they got to deal with.
Whew. Yeah, that's a tough one coming up. There's some serious business. I think, Chelsea Gray done changed it. But for one, the Aces, they come in. I know they're playing right now, so they might change. But right now, they're first in the league in scoring, and second in defense. So, similar to the Wizards. The Mystics gonna have to hit some outside shots, especially with them bigs in the paint. They ain't gonna be able to drive and just have their way scoring inside. You're not gonna get every foul call, but at the same time, you still gotta be aggressive and attack the bigs and hope you can get some calls. You got to mix it up. And they kind of shot. They starting to shoot a little bit better, but it's not consistent. It's streaky. They gonna need everybody all deck on hands. Tina gonna have her hands full with Cambage, Maisha obviously with Asia Wilson. They're reigning MVP. So Atkins gonna have to shoot well. I know Lalani she's starting to come out of it. She's gonna have to continue to come out of it. And Natasha Cloud, she's gonna have to hit shots. She has a tough assignment with Chelsea Gray, but she's gonna have to hit shots, man. They're tough, man. They're tough, man. The starting five is one of the, even with Angel McCautry out, they're still loaded. It's just obviously they're well coached. They play from the inside out, but they just kill you in so many ways. Free throw shooting their league, even the bigs, you can't really foul them and put them on the line. They can run. They can play in the half court. The bigs can switch out and buy the guards time to get back into play and keep you honest. The Mystics are going to have to hit shots, and they're going to have to defend without fouling, but still be physical, if that makes sense. They're going to have to play an all-around, damn near perfect game to beat them without Deladon. It's as simple as that. They don't have much room for error. And this will tell a lot. You know what I'm saying? This will tell a lot as far as moving forward in the season. Because even if you add Deladon sooner than later, it's going to take her time to get in rhythm. And, you still want to rely on others. Even if she come back and she's Deladon, you still want to rely on others as you try to win games and make them run for the postseason or whatnot. This is a game where the others can prove and show that we can be trusted. Show to ball, because that's all that really matters. Show the coaching staff, show your teammates that we can be trusted, because it's going to be a big game. They're one of the best teams in the league, one of the top 4 teams in the league. They're going to be tested, man. The Mystics are going to be tested. We're going to really see what it is, man. And it's good. If you're a competitor, you should like it, man. But some players on the Mystics going to have to elevate the game and play how we know them to play and get out these slumps. Because if they come in there with the same slump and shoot, as far as shooting the ball and fouling, putting them on the line, it's going to be over by halftime.
Ray, anything you want to add looking with the Mystics and the Aces?
I mean, Cardell pretty much summed it up perfectly. Like, this is going to have to be their best game of the season. You know, the Aces, they're extremely well rounded. They're experienced. They're in championship mode. You know, they've come up a little short the past 2 years, but they're inching towards there. You know, last year they were in the finals. I'm sure this year they're looking to get over the hump. And they're starting off like it, like they're not wasting any time. The Like Cardell said, the aggression from the Mystics is going to be important, but they can't give them free opportunities at the line because they already score enough as is. You can't give them free shots. But yeah, they're going to have to shoot the ball well because they've been relying heavily on Tina. But as great as Tina is, that's a lot to deal with down there with Cam Page and Asia Wilson. And of course having Maisha back helps, but they need to devote all the attention to them. Like, so that Maisha and Tina, they're gonna have their hands full. The others, they gotta hit shots, they gotta spray the floor. They gotta be consistent from out there. And again, Natasha Cloud's gotta be a little more aggressive than she has been. Because you need 5 weapons, man, especially against this team. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. If the deficiencies the Mystics have been having show themselves in this game, yeah, it's going to get ugly. So I know they're in the lab, they're prepping, and hopefully they can come out and put out a good performance.
Octavia, I know they pretty much knocked it out the park. Let me know if you have anything to add. If not, I got a little to add.
Nah, y'all said everything there is to be said.
All right, then I'll jump in real quick. Just some notes from availability today. The team using this week as a way to get back to the basics, breaking things down, 2v2, 4v4 type drills. Want to continue working on the communication. The big theme by assistant coach Tebow, head coach Tebow, and a couple players learning their own personnel. They're kind of banged up this start of the week, haven't been able to practice with the full team. Expect to get some more bodies back later this week. I think they're off tomorrow. Should get some bodies back for Thursday and Friday. Obviously, the game is on Saturday. Most feel that this week is good timing for them to kind of just help them, like you said, work on some things and kind of, well, like for example, with someone like Maisha. Maisha's only had 2 practices since she's been back. Her and Tina pretty much spent more time more time spent together in games than on the practice floor thus far. And another thing, like you guys mentioned, the Ace is just the first of several tough teams in a stretch coming up. So it benefits them to kind of get as healthy as you can leading into Saturday, because it's going to be a war at 1 p.m. Saturday at the ESA. Vegas coming to town. It's not for the sweet at all. I'm going to take our first break. When we get back, Octavia's going to update you guys
Hold on one
on
second.
the Pitts League. What?
Real quick, one more thing. I just wanted to throw this out. The Mystics ranked 7th in the WNBA in fouls. They're 7th right now, and they average 19 fouls, a little over 19 fouls a game. All right. Free throw shooting, they're 2nd. They shoot 86% from the field as a team. The Aces, as far as foul, they're 1st. They only foul 13 times a game with the bigs. So that's how they defend without fouling. And then free throw wise, they're 1st in free throw makes, they're 1st in free throw attempts, and they're 4th in free throw shooting percentage. They shoot 81% from the line. So that right there can decide the game. That's why I'm like, the Mystics don't have any room for error. They gotta attack, they gotta defend without fouling. And if they manage to get to the line by some miracle, if the refs on their side, they're going to hit some shots. They're going to hit all those shots. So it's a tough game coming up.
All right. Cardell with the stats to further hammer home what type of test they have Saturday at home. They will have rain in the building, so look forward to Mystics Outlook. Again, headed to our first break when we get back. Pitts League with Octavia, watching the Focus TV. We'll see you in just a bit. Welcome back to the Focus TV. As promised, Pitts League playoffs is the first round. Gonna hand it over to Octavia to let everybody know what happened in round one.
Okay, so like Wilson stated, the Pitts playoffs are officially underway, and this is going to be the recap from the first round of the playoffs. So the 4 versus 29 matchup went as expected, as Black Power beat who got last 73-45. Black Power was led by Rasan Young, D'Angelo Vaughn, and Levante Sanders. There was a really close game between the 8th and the 25th seed. VA Magic held on to beat Nothing to Prove 59-56 as the 8th seed advanced. Jordan Griggs led the way with 15 points. John Savoy led all scorers with 16 in the loss. In the 16-17 matchup, TSJ Elite held off Dead Stock DMV with 21 points from AJ Carr and 18 points from Lucius Jones. Brandon Allen and Dominic Phillips paced Dead Stock DMV with 29 and 26 points respectively. The first upset of the first round featured the 20th seed team BK knocking off the 13th seed Dreamcatcher 78-77. Trey Wainwright had 17 points. Jalen Jordan added 16 points for Team BK. Omar Weaver and Phoenix Butler Poole had 29 apiece in the loss. The two-seeded Team J handled their business in knocking off the 31st ranked Silver Mystics 82-68. Anthony Tate led Team J with 18 points, while Daryl Sanders led all scorers with 25 points in the defeat. The 10th seed Baseline beat 23rd seed Hometown Favorites 77-64. In the 14-19 matchup, A-Team beat Gifted Athletes 45-27. JNR's Mob held off bottom of the 5 with a 66-57 victory. The 7th seed Quiet as Kept defeated 26th seed Rome Reloaded 78-65. The 3 and 30 matchup went as expected. Team Soul Runners advanced after routing Not Me ENT 75-42. And last but not least, 16 Dream Team narrowly avoided the upset bid from the 27th seed Running Gun 62-57. Can only imagine what is going to go on this week and if there will be any other upsets. Sure there will be.
You know what the worst part is like just reading it, you have to feel extra sick. One, getting upset. Two, with how many teams there are. If a 30-something knocks you off, it has to hurt that much more.
You can't be a 2 seed losing to the 30 seed. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Like, it hurt me reading it, so I know it had to hurt. Like,
yeah.
Not a 16 taking down a 1, but, double that 16 and taking down. Right. Like, you say by a dub, you lost by the difference in your seedings. Like, that hurt.
Yeah, just try again next year, guys. Try again next year.
Man, like you go through the whole regular season and lose to any seed later than 20. If it got hurt, man, it's not a good look. So shout out to those teams that handle business. Shout out to those lower seeds that mess up some other people's weekends and weeks. And got those nasty scores on social media. That's an ugly upset, man. But 9-4-50 breakdown, Jamal Hayward each and every week has something special for us. This week, it's moves off a drag dribble. Again, moves off a drag dribble. 9-4-50 breakdown, and we'll see you guys following the break.
Today, we're going to work on some moves off a drag dribble. Not any like actual shooting drills, shooting moves, anything like that, or finishing. Working on counters off the drag dribble. So we can drag with the left hand, drag with the right hand. So an example of a drag dribble is I'm here with the right hand, somewhat similar to an in and out, but not really similar to an in and out. So I'm dragging with my right hand here, okay? So that's one drag. I can do 2. So I'm bringing my hand to the inside a little bit, kind of sort of like an in and out, but I'm dragging the ball to the side, lateral, okay? Doing the same thing with the left hand. Here. I'm also keeping my hand on top of the ball, but somewhat comes to the inside. So I'm here, or here, okay? So, options off the drag dribble. I can do hezzy. I can enter in combo modes. There's so many different things you can do off the drag dribble. Also, you can shoot a three, depending on how relaxed your defender gets, okay? So I can be here, and with me reading my defender, if he's lax, expecting me to go heel, go to the basket, and he got his hands out, I can pop a three. Or I can be here, and out behind, shot. Or I can be with my left hand here, hezzy. One or the other, you know, it doesn't matter. Do the hezzy with the right hand, here, hezzy, layup. There's so many different options. So many different options of that drag dribble. But your feet is important with the drag dribble as well also too, as well as pace. So you don't want to go ahead and speed through the drag dribble. So pace, that gets the defender relaxed and unsure of what you're about to do because there's so many options. I can, pass. I can drive, kick. I can drive, get to the basket. I can drive, pull up, shoot a jump shot. It's all about pace with the drag. Here. You don't got to go fast. Here. Changing speeds into a quick move. Doesn't matter, okay? All about pace with the drag dribble. All about keeping your hand on top of the ball control and everything else.
Welcome back to the Focus TV. Again, thanks to Jamal Hayward for the 9-4-50 breakdown this week. Quick update from DC United. As we discussed over the past few weeks, there's been a reoccurring theme with them. They're doing a good job of creating multiple chances, but they're struggling to capitalize on them. And, soccer's not it's an extremely high-scoring sport, so when you waste those opportunities, it kind of sort of hurts you. This past weekend, they did a better job of doing that in a 3-0 win over Inter Miami before the international break. Ola Kamara bagged a brace. Paul Areola scored as well in the victory. Mead made his season debut and recorded a clean sheet. There were also several changes in the starting 11, including Kevin Paredes and Donovan Pines getting their first starts of the season. Jordi Reyna made his season debut as well as a sub late in the second half for Paul Areola. Just want to share a few things that I took from the match. Just pace. Having Areola and Paredes on the field at the same time really opened things up for them. Both of them have the ability to beat players 1v1, and just the speed in which when they put their foot in the ground, they create separation. It really threatens defenses. Prior to this game, they've been available, but this is the first game they started together. Even in this one, I think Paredes started as a wingback before moving up later in the match to where both him and Areola were in the attack, and it really did. You really could see the difference with them out there. The health, simply put, they've been banged up most of the year. The lineup that night was a good example of how your team still hasn't found its best 11. They're having more healthy bodies, certainly gives Hernan Losada more options, creates opportunities for more combinations. That said, again, I still don't think they found their best 11 yet because everyone's not available. Like, they got some bodies back, but Edison Flores is on the mend now. And then just the break. Similar to the Mystics, they have a little break. It's coming at a great time, the international break, that is. They struggle to get out the gate due to the lack of fitness, available bodies, some of the things we shared in the past few weeks. They essentially have 3 weeks, which gives most of the players who don't have international obligations just more time to improve their fitness levels, in time for others who aren't available kind of to get to that point where they can at least be available as a substitute. So, Cardell, what do you have for us in rapid fire this week, sir?
Actually, gonna start with some good news from well-respected, highly touted former local prospect, local player. Former University of Cincinnati standout men's basketball player DeMar Johnson will be back on the Bearcats bench for the 2021-22 season. UC men's basketball coach Wes Miller on Tuesday announced the 7 members of his support staff for the upcoming campaign. including Johnson, the 99-2000 Conference USA Freshman of the Year with the Bearcats and the number 6 overall pick in the 2000 NBA Draft. DeMar told the Inquirer, I feel great about it. It's a perfect opportunity for me to be here at the school that I went to and came back to 4 years ago and graduated from. I really care about the school. It just makes it a lot easier for me to go out here and bust my butt for my university. The 41-year-old Johnson will serve as the program's director of player development, overseeing individual development plans for players and coordinating details related to connecting with former players. In his long season with the Bearcats, they had a great team. They were legit national championship contenders. Obviously, Kenyon Martin, who ended up being the number 1 pick in the 2000 draft, he broke his leg, and that changed things when they were upset in the second round by Tulsa. But throughout the year, they were one of the dominant teams in college basketball during the 99-2000 season. They finished the season 29-4. Just what are your thoughts on, DeMar going back to where it all started and looking to make an impact as a coach? We'll start with you, Octavia.
I mean, I think it's like you said, it's a no-brainer. Anybody with his resume and the things that he knows and the game that he's played in and all the knowledge that he has can only, that's the next logical move to be able to share that. And then, of course, it's got to be special doing it with your alma mater. To be out there and, help kids that were in the same predicament or in the same situations that he was in. So I think it's a great situation for him and wish him all the best.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely some great news. And it's definitely a great move by the university. Of course, DeMar was an outstanding player. But I think even more than what he did on the court, like I think he can give kids, a good perspective, just helping them transition from college to the pro level and things like that, because, he was one of the most highly touted high school players ever, a lottery pick, but then, he had an injury and kind of went through that situation. So he can give some insight as to, just life in general as a pro going through ups and downs. So I think he can definitely help mentally, as well as of course physically on the court, with his with skill set and experience and everything. And I really don't understand why we don't see this more from colleges and even on the pro level. You have people that have come through your program that that can add value to what you're doing. Especially a guy like DeMar Johnson, just kind of bring these guys back through so they can have an opportunity to give back and, and build your program the way you want it to be. I think it can only yield positive results. So yeah, man, it's, it seems like it's something he's excited to do. I'm happy for him that he got the opportunity and, maybe who knows, we'll see him continue to advance his post-playing career.
To answer your question, Ray, ego. That's the only thing. That's why they don't ask him to come back. You got the new staff coming in that want to do their thing, and then connecting with the players at that university or whatnot that had great success. They understand they have their own standards, so it's always going to be that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of it got to be some meeting of the minds. And honestly, reading about how DeMar came back, that's what happened. Him and Wes Miller had his own call. The pandemic, they talked. He even got Kenyon Martin on the line. They talked to him, and they both liked him, and that's what kind of got the ball rolling to where he's coming back home. But it's ego, man. You see that a lot, man. So I'm just happy that the ego ain't getting into play here, man. So because you always should bring back people who put in work at the university, and especially they went on to do big things, man. It can only help. You see what I'm saying? It gives the youngest there a vision. Like, all right, he was in my shoes, he did it. You sometimes don't even need to be said. You know what I'm saying? He's right there. Is that an example? Is constantly right there in the gym, and that's all that matters. Wilson, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think you guys pretty much listed it all out. Only thing I would add is the timing of it is great because they lost Mick Cronin recently. He's over at UCLA. See the run, what he's done with UCLA thus far. Adding DeMar again, just the timing. it's heck of a timing to help you try to get back on track, right? So like you named, should have been something that maybe should have been considered sooner, but hey, it is what it is. For Cincinnati going forward, hope they make the most out of it, and I'm looking forward to seeing his contributions to that staff going forward.
I mean, just throw my nugget in. I'm definitely happy to see it. Especially with DeMar being a local guy. That was a great team, man. I remember being in front of we was in 10th grade, and they literally shut the whole school down, and they allowed all of us, because DeMar being from there, they allowed us to go in whatever class we wanted and actually watch the tournament games, watch them play, watch them with K. Martin do what they do, man. Not just them. I remember Steve Logan, he was a monster. Kenny Satterfield, they had them all, man. And that was the only year they really that was the year all of them were together, man. Then everybody started going to the league, man. But to this day, I always say, man, I think Michigan State won it that year 2000. I think they won it that year. But I always say, if King Martin didn't break his leg, that was theirs. That was their ship to lose. So that was a monster team. The shippiness in the NBA playoffs continues. Hawks center Clint Capella said the Knicks try to be physical, but aren't really. His quote is, physical, they try to play physical. I feel like if they were really physical, we have more problems than we have. I feel like they're trying to, but it's not working. We talk ish and push you around. So what are you going to do about it? So that's what happened. We can do it too. We can be physical, but we can win games as well. Now we're coming to your home to win this game again to send you a vacation. Woo. Oh man, Ray, it's on you, man. Let's start with you.
Hey man, you can talk like that when you're up 3-1. I mean, so obviously it got to be some truth to what he's saying, because they're firmly in control of the series. They've been dominant. So I mean, yeah, he can say whatever he wants at this point, and the Knicks either got to prove him wrong or just eat it. So I mean, I seen a couple of their responses. Derrick Rose, he gave the typical OG response. Man, I'm too old to get involved with that type of stuff. We know how Derrick Rose carried. He just get out there and play. Julius Randle with I don't care what Clint Capella says. Well, you should care, because they kind of giving it to y'all right now, and Randle has not played well in the series. So hopefully he can have a bounce back game. But yeah, man. Atlanta's taking it to him, and and Clint's producing down there. So it is what it is, man. You just gotta go out and shut him up. That's the only response.
Wilson.
I mean,
talking
look,
about your
man,
beloved
somebody's
Knicks,
up.
man.
I mean, look, at another point in my life, I'd be stressing that right now. I'd be bothered. I'd be hurt by a comment like that. Currently, since the change was made, hilarious hijinks on this side of things. It be like that, man. So everybody got a plan till they get punched in the mouth. And right now, New York, you're currently repeatedly getting punched in the mouth. So I don't even really. That might be the most I've heard Clint Capella talk in a while. So yeah, New York, you either win games or stay home. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And the man said he's sending y'all on vacation in your building. So we'll see how y'all act tomorrow night. He told y'all just rest up. Just, staycation, if you will.
Yeah. My reaction wouldn't have definitely not been. I don't care. Yeah, motherfucker. All right, it's on. It got to be on. Octavia.
I love it. I mean, I feel like after the past year we've had with the pandemic and all the social injustices, we've had a real focus on those type of things, and it kind of took away from the fiery aspect of the game. Sometimes, like, I love it. I like when they talk trash, especially if you could back it up, which at this moment they are, being up 3-1 and Julius Randle being basically invisible the entire time. It is what it is. You can say you don't care, but like Ray said, you should care, because it's just bad. I'm pretty sure they're glad to at least go back to New York so Julius doesn't have to constantly hear that he's overrated, because literally every time he touches the ball, that's all I hear in the background with the fans. So I love it. You know, if you're gonna do something about it, do something about it. If not, like you said, just rest up. You know, go ahead, start making your vacation plans. Let them know you're free after this day. You know, and you'll be good to go. What they say, they go to Cabo or wherever they go when they go on vacation.
Cancun.
Yeah, Cancun. Yeah, just get it ready. And I'm pretty sure Cancun is open now. You couldn't do it last year. You know, I think you can get there now. I'm pretty sure they've all had their shots. I'm sure the resort is open and ready to welcome them. It's probably been cold out there in New York, you know. But hey,
Capella said he got them the reservations booked for him. They don't even need to book them. But nah, I love it, man. It's funny though, because the guys in the league that's been dominating the league currently for the last few years are getting older. And you know how they get on the older guys, man. Oh, y'all bitter, dirty, and chippy, then man. It ain't real basketball. It's beauty. Yeah, and they're starting to act like the old dudes because they getting older. They getting tired of one another. They running into the same dudes trying to get to the championship. And then now there's some youngins coming up that's like, man, y'all gotta get out the way too. You know, our time is here. So I love it, man. That's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be competitive basketball. Y'all not supposed to be friends, especially in the playoffs. You're not supposed to be friends. You're not supposed to care about one another. Even if y'all are cool, man. You know what I'm saying? We can get up in the off season. Right now it's all business. So I mean, yeah, you know, he has the right to talk. He's up 3-1. You know, the Hawks are up 3-1. They playing, but Lord knows, man, don't let the Knicks come back and beat y'all, man. Because man, yeah, not in the social
that
media
would be
era.
it.
You gonna have to deactivate your stuff. You know what I'm saying? So now you know what I
So
mean. You know what they say, the old saying, "Don't give the other team bulletin board material." They will always come back
that's
to
on the
this
bulletin
if they
board.
lose the series. Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know. And in a different time, I get it. They more chippy, but it's still like how we grew up in a you know, a different time. Capella wouldn't even make it out the first quarter. They would make sure to hurt him, get him up out of there. So you know, you gotta be also careful who you're dealing with. But yeah, niggas gotta man up and do something about it. Simple as that. Moving forward, with the disappointment of a first-round playoff loss to the Cleveland Browns, still fresh, Ben Roethlisberger made an immediate decision to return to the Steelers for another season. But to do that, he recognized that his $41 million cap hit something had to change. So he asked the front office to take a pay cut, so they can go out and look for to fill the roster and go out and look for some pieces to help them win. Roethlisberger said it was my idea. I told them I want to help the team out however we can. And so I went to them and told them that I would do whatever I could to help the team sign the guys that are going to help us win football games. In order to do that, to get the guys here, I felt that it was necessary to do that. Roethlisberger is 39. He reduced his salary by $5 million, signing a new contract that set the void after the 2021 season. What are your thoughts on that? We'll start with you, Wilson.
I would like to say that's very generous, but how you been playing? Like, I mean, you owed them that. Like, they had to go get a running back so they get back to, like, honestly, because you don't need to be throwing the ball that much. They got to get back to old school Steeler football, to the type of football they played when he was a rookie. You know, it's been for a while, like in his prime when he was doing his thing. They got away from him a little bit, put more on his shoulders, and he was cooking. The ball was in the air. They were having fun, had some fun offenses and whatnot. But you 39. Y'all they got to pay Minka Fitzpatrick. That's not going to be cheap. You're 39. So yeah, it's the least you could do. I'm sure someone's gonna make it to like this big feel good thing, but yeah, because I'm trying to figure out why you had 41 to begin with. But hey, it's the Steelers. None of Wilson's business.
I'll tell you.
I mean, I was going to say he probably should have knocked off a couple more than just the $5 million. Could have gave him a little bit more back too, because it's like Wilson said, it hasn't been pretty, and I don't feel like he's aging gracefully as far as a quarterback, like the ones that we have seen that are playing in their 40s. It's not looking too good. So he probably made a business decision in his brain, like, I probably won't be able to do this too much longer. If I want to get another one, I'm going to have to give them some money back, because obviously we saw how everything ended last year. So I'm not surprised. I don't think it's a good gesture. I don't think he's doing it out of the kindness of his heart. I just think that he logically put two and two together and said, hey, in order for us to get more people, we're going to need more money. I probably made enough money at this point. Let's get somebody else in here.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious how he's trying to make it seem like this is some benevolent, do what I can for the team type thing. Like, dude, if we being perfectly honest, if you want them to be able to sign players to help, then retire so they can get another quarterback. Because he's declining rapidly. So yeah, man, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had that conversation with him first, because it ain't been looking too good lately for him and them. So yeah, it was a great PR move. Whoever's advising him, perfect. They've earned their money, but he's not fooling anybody. Yeah, dog. Like Wilson said, you owe them. Like it's a guy we like to talk about for the local basketball team that probably should do the same thing, but I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. But yeah, man. Get out of here with the grandstanding, dude. Like you're the reason why they need to make some adjustments and get new people. Like, yeah, you should probably pick up a clipboard at this point. But yeah, kudos to him, man.
All right, close things out. An anonymous NBA GM said player empowerment is the worst thing that ever happened to professional sports. His quote is, player empowerment is a catch-all for the fact that the league has done a terrible job of empowering teams. The players have all the leverage in every situation. I think it's the worst thing that has ever happened to professional sports on all levels. Man, Octavia, this is on you. This should be fun.
First of all, don't be anonymous. If you about it, be about it. If that's how you feel, say that out loud. Don't try to sugarcoat it and cry behind the blinds and stuff. If that's how you feel, say it. Because he knows that he can't say that, and he knows how it would go. And it's just ridiculous. Of course, they're going to say that, yeah, it's a business, but these are still people and they have their lives. They should have some type of say in what they want to and can't do and what they would rather do. So, yeah, it's always going to be an experience when trying to do that for both sides, player and the business side of it. But I don't think that it's legitimately like completely out of the question for them to have some type of empowerment. And for somebody saying that, you can tell that they just look at them as like bargaining chips, just moving one place here and one here and doing whatever they want, and they don't really care about the actual person. So I really like whatever this person is talking about, like it kind of goes in one ear, not the other ear, because if you can't stand firm and say that in front of people, like I don't even really believe you, and I don't really care to listen to anything you have to say because you sound stupid.
Right.
Yeah, man, that's ridiculous. Like, come on, dude. And I'm willing to bet that it's a GM of a bad team, because if he was benefiting from it, it wouldn't be an issue, So, like, yeah, man, like these like Octavia said, they should be allowed to have some control over their career. I mean, people have their opinions about the teaming up and what have you, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. That's really a trivial matter. And whatever you have to say about it, taken away from the competitiveness of the game or what have you, that's a different conversation. But to say that players shouldn't have control over where they play or anything else, that's stupid, man. Of course they should. Like, so yeah. And again, like I've never been a fan of the anonymous quote. Like if you're telling me that and I'm gonna put it out, I'm gonna put your name on it, because you shouldn't be able to talk greasy like that. Your players should know the type of person they're working for. And I guarantee if that name got out, no free agent will come to that team until that guy's gone. So if you're not going to value people and, and think people should, have some say so in how their careers go, then they should have the option to know that's the kind of person you are and whether they want to deal with you or not. So yeah, man, he can miss me with all that.
Awesome.
I was laughing at Ronnie because the timing with the pictures that he pulls up had me over here
Yeah,
dying.
man, that's what I was saying too.
Like,
Dog. Like now, the coach won't be up here tweeting and commenting.
he just get to do it quietly, put that joint up there and just walk away. Yeah, I
He
always,
be petty. He
anytime
be
like
slick with the
pettiness runs freely around these parts. Everybody.
Hey.
It's a show wide, studio wide thing. That said, anything like anytime it's anonymous, I kind of throw it away immediately. You're definitely somebody who doesn't get players, so you feel some type of way, and this is probably your reason for feeling to justify you keeping your job. The player empowerment era, man, it's like anything else. There's a lot of bad, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. I guarantee you, some of the teams that won championships feel less bad than the teams that didn't win championships with it. Because I'm sure the teams that won championships where they can go talk to their players and let them go tamper behind closed doors freely to go recruit people on their behalf, have a way better chance to recruit from their peers than somebody else. That front office is fine with that. I'm sure they're having it is a group text like everyone's on board with it, right? And the teams that are landing players. Let's not do that, all right? So and again, like all things in sports, like it happens in cycles, different things happen in eras. Like in baseball, you had a steroid era or whatever, right? I'm sure some people are like, man, that's the worst thing in the world. You still got some people, if you like somebody from it, you build them up. If you hate somebody from it, you bury them under the ground. Like it's like anything else. It's good or bad or everything else. There's also usually this middle line. The player empowerment era, it is what it is. And again, there's probably going to be consequences from this era going forward. And when we get to that next era, we're going to look back at this part to think about why we got there, right? But again, you're anonymous. I guarantee you probably are like 0 for 35 on landing free agents since you felt like this. But like anything, all good things come to an end. There's going to be consequences from this era. But as of right now, you're still in it. You're probably not getting the people you want.
Yeah, just to close it out, I feel like how y'all feel. Always stand by what you say. I'm not with the coward stuff and all that. Like me, I'd be like, yeah, I said it. And if I felt the way, and what, you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, players should be empowered to a certain extent. This ain't the 50s and 60s where y'all, I'm trying to watch my terminology, where y'all abuse players. Y'all just use them. Y'all didn't pay them. Kind of what NFL players are going through now. Those days old. That's what Bill Russell, that's what really Big O and guys like that, Spencer Haywood, the OGs, the legends of the game, that's what they fought for free agency, to be able to come out of school early, all this stuff. They fought for those things so players today can benefit from it. Now, in a sense, do I feel like some players have abused it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because now, like Wilson said, it's going to be consequences. The owners ain't really said much. They quiet. So that next CBA going to be ugly. And it's not gonna be a peaceful one. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna fight to get back more control, especially coming off this pandemic. This pandemic really, really set things off because all the players still got paid their money. I know the owners are billionaires, but they don't look at it like that. They look at it like we took a loss. Majority of them are businessmen, so it's going to get ugly down the road. And also the player empowerment. That's for the top guys. The middle pack, the role players, all the way down to fringe guys, they ain't got no power. I mean, come on now. Like, I'm not gonna say no names. Like certain players go in the office and tell the officers, be like, man, look, I need you to do X, Y, Z. He ain't even gonna say nothing. He just gonna hit a button and they're gonna come and score him out, and we gonna be gone. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. Have y'all heard from Ian Mahinmi lately?
Who? Nah, where he
We ain't even get a notification he was released or something, bought out. We ain't even get nothing. It's just he was there and he's gone. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the real of the NBA. Like, for all the LeBrons, the KDs, the Giannis's, all those people, those top heavy players, the majority of the league don't got that type of power. You know, come on, how you gonna come in there and be a role player and buck? They were like, we can replace you now. Literally, we can go EuroLeague, hey, hop on the phone, get a player to do what you do now. So yeah, it doesn't it doesn't sit well with all that, man. And that's the other part of the player empowerment thing. Like, the top heavy guys make decisions that benefit them. Does it benefit everybody? And that's what a lot of role players and guys like that be like, man, look, you know, doing those CBA contract negotiations, player president, all that labor union talks and stuff like that. A lot of them get in their feelings because they just like, we don't have to say so regardless. See, Rodney, there you go again. God damn. See?
Talk so.
Oh my God, yeah.
Man,
I can't, Rodney. I really can't.
But look, man, look, direct that at Bless, leave me be, man. But I'm just being real, man. It is what it is. It's the top guys that dictate everything. And yeah, I expect the owners gonna fight back because it's gone crazy. You know what I mean? The super teams, as far as what built the game, what made the game popular and stuff in the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, was the competition. You know what I mean? Teams actually across the board having chances to build teams and compete for championships. If you draft right, scout right, you know, do your part. You see what I'm saying? But now a lot of teams feel like it's similar to college basketball. We're developing guys to get good, and we don't even have a chance because they're running to play with other top guys in bigger markets and, you know, destinations that everybody loves. Like, who don't like sunshine in Miami and LA and stuff like that, or Madison Avenue in the New York arena where you can build your brand. It's like they don't really have a chance. So for every Giannis that stay at home, you got the other guys that leave. And a lot of owners are upset that because they like, we put a lot into it, and you gotta understand that end as well. But saying players should have no say so, and they should just be employees, and we tell you get in the gym. No, I'm not with that, man. You know what I'm saying? They earn that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, hey, you know, LeBron, we got a reservation about him, but he earned the right to have that say. Kevin Durant earned the right to have that say. Giannis, we can go down the line. So it is what it is, but it's gonna get ugly down the line because with everything, you also gotta be respectful of the power that you have. You can't abuse it. And I feel like at times certain guys have abused it, and you know, guys will be trying to get back at them. You know, specifically the owners. So we're gonna see down the road.
Oh yeah, it's only a matter of time. I can't wait for that CBA. That thing's I'm probably go ahead and put something down on a lockout happening when that time comes off the early. Because like Cardell said, those talks are going to be ugly. And the crazy part is most of the folks that played a role in them talks will be on their way out the league. No. So fun time.
That's where it's going to get bad. That's where it's going to get bad.
Because the guys that are next in line to be at that level, the CBA talks might happen before they reached that level, like legit that level. So you want to argue about power, and they could be like, "Yep."
Trey
like
Young,
if they get to that point early,
those guys, the young boys,
you
see, and they're not gonna have a chance, and that's what you're right, and that's where it's gonna get ugly. Because think about it, you got to pay damn near 9 figures for friends, like for specialists.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at all these horrible rosters, these horribly constructed rosters, because people are trying to pick and choose things, and they're doing too much. Like, why are you picking and choosing specialists and you got 7 on your roster? Like, how about you focus on taking that bread, spending it wisely, and going from 7 players to maybe like shrink that number down to 3. Draft well, you know, keep building, and then when you got like, I don't know, 10 like good players, then we can, you know, you can jump out there and act like a good team and start picking and choosing things. But and again, like with the anonymous guy, before we get off my bed, like just in every instance, like Cardell, like you said, where players do make good decisions, there's just as many instances of star players that kind of blindly trusted franchises and just wasted time because they didn't do anything with those. They didn't build right. So like, there's 2 sides to it again. And put your name on stuff. Put your name on your work. I hate when people do that. Put your name on your work. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, don't forget, we'll be back next week, same time, same place. For this week, we got more Wizards and Mystics outlook. And probably by next week, I have an announcement for some new plugs and stuff of that nature from the Focus. But y'all have a great week. See you guys very soon.